guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is for those of you who have been trying to manifest a desired outcome and you may be feeling a bit confused or even frustrated because your desired outcome has not happened yet, despite your efforts, despite your positive intentions. So in this reading, we are going to see what is going on with your manifestation. And this can be literally for anything you are trying to manifest. I don't really want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what your manifestation is, but more so talking about what are the surrounding energies around your manifestation. Are things moving smoothly? Is there some resistance? Is there positive energy? Is there negative energy? I'm gonna look more so at the energy of the thing you're trying to manifest and sort of see the status of your manifestation, so to speak. We're going to find out why it hasn't come to you yet. So whether this is because of a blockage on your part, or maybe a blockage somewhere else, or maybe there are no blockages and it's really just a matter of time. But whatever the case might be, in this reading, we are going to get to the bottom of it. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today. In today's reading, you can definitely choose more than one. Like for example, if there are 2 or even 3 things that you are trying to manifest right now, you could pick 2 or 3 different groups. However you would like to use this reading is totally up to you. But for each reading, we're going to be using a different tarot deck. And I also have a different palm stone on top of each to help you pick. As you can see, this is what the decks look like from the back, but in just a second, I'm going to show you a card from each of the decks so that you can also see what the front artwork looks like. I usually show the same card from each deck. So today I actually shuffled some cards and I asked, what card should I use to show the groups and to help them pick? And I got the 4 of Cups. So that is what we're going to be showing you today. And without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1, your palm stone is Moss Agate. Your deck is the Ostara Tarot. And here is the 4 of Cups. Option number 2, your palm stone is Fire Quartz. Your deck is the White Fly Tarot. And here is the 4 of Cups. Option number 3, your palm stone is Iolite. Your deck is the Shadowscapes Tarot, and here is the 4 of Cups. And option number 4, your palm stone is Orange Calcite. Your deck is the Crystal Power Tarot, and here is the 4 of Cups. Okay, so just in case you guys need a little bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one or ones are calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose the Moss Agate, this is going to be your reading. So we are gonna start off by taking a look at the current energies that are surrounding your manifestation. I'm going to be taking reversals for this part, and I think I will take reversals when we get into the other tarot deck as well. So as I'm shuffling, think about the outcome, the situation, the goal that you are trying to manifest. And we want to see what is the energy surrounding this situation for group number 1. What energy is surrounding this situation? I have this feeling of being afraid to know. And I can compare this energy to, and this is actually happening to me recently, so it's fresh in my mind. After you have written an exam and the teacher is handing your graded papers back, and there's that feeling before you look at it like, I can't look, I don't want to know. And I kind of have that feeling with this group. There's a feeling of being afraid to know or being afraid of a negative outcome. there's like a fear of making a mistake or screwing something up. What are the energies surrounding Group 1's manifestation? We have the Sun with radiant energy, warmth, energy rush, freedom, optimism, success, happiness, positivity, vitality, truth, and yes. And that came out in the upright. We also have Death in reverse with internal change. Clear and purge, transform, rebirth, regenerate, emerging, and metamorphosis. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright, an offer, flourishing, abundance, security, stable, meeting someone new, and potential. So it looks like the energy surrounding your manifestation is quite positive, which leads me to believe that those worrying feelings I was picking up on were unnecessary worries. I actually really like that we have the Sun here, because the Sun to me is like one of the most carefree, happy-go-lucky cards. And the fact that this has shown up here is letting me know that there's really nothing to worry about for you guys. It is safe to be optimistic. Your guides are encouraging you to just open up and be in an allowing energy to your manifestation and say yes. I think it's very interesting too that we have the horse looks like it's walking towards the Death card in reverse, which is our keywords for that are internal change. This is talking about clearing energy that doesn't serve us. It's talking about healing from within, going through the spiritual transformations that we need to go through. And I feel like you guys really have been actively doing the necessary work for this manifestation, especially when it comes to inner work. If you guys needed a confirmation that you are doing enough and that you are doing the right things and that you are on the right path, this is it. And I feel like what you're trying to manifest here is something that is very close to your heart and very important, because 2 out of these 3 cards are major arcana, and then we also have an ace. So not only is this something extremely important and significant to you, but obtaining this manifestation would sort of mark a tangible new chapter in your life with this Ace of Pentacles here. And I think that striving for this thing, whatever it might be, has made you a better person, has allowed for you to grow and discover yourself, both the strengths and weaknesses. And I just feel like you've done a lot of work to become better. And of course, better is subjective, you know, your best version of you. But I feel like you've taken a really honest look at yourself and said, like, what needs to change about me so that I can obtain this manifestation. So, you know, just for an example, we were talking about exams before. If you have like a dream school that you want to go to, this would be you like taking an objective look at, am I studying enough? Are my grades good enough? And that makes sense, because I was having that feeling of like, I can't look, I don't want to know. I feel like you guys have done the really hard thing of honestly looking at yourself and saying like, if I want this, this is where I'm lacking and this is where I need to change. Because with this as well, with this Ace of Coins, this is a practical and grounded energy. And I feel like you guys, you've taken a lot of like tangible steps to make this happen. And so in that school example, of course, this can apply to any situation, but maybe you looked at your grades and said, nope, that's not good enough. So I'm going to have to get better grades. And so what does that mean? I need to study more. Maybe I need to delete some apps off of my phone that are wasting my time. Maybe I need to like stop going out with my friends every single weekend and partying. Just examples, right? But I feel like you showed that maturity and you showed that commitment, like I'm going to do what it takes to manifest this thing. But I think also you went a step deeper than that. So you were not just looking at what needs to change outwardly, but what needed to change internally. So if you had, for example, if you were sabotaging yourself by procrastinating on studying because deep down there was a fear of rejection. Maybe deep down you really feared getting rejected by your dream school, so you didn't study at all, because then it wasn't even on the table anyway. Like, I wasn't even going to get that anyway. Whereas if you really tried to go for it and you got rejected, that hurts a lot. So I think you guys went deeper than just saying like, oh, I need to take this action, I need to change this habit. But you went to the root. You went to the root of where you were acting in disalignment, and you looked at the fear that was causing you subconsciously to run away from what you truly wanted. And that can be a scary thing to do, and it's difficult, but it looks like you just bravely walked right into that. And that is going to bring this new beginning for you. That's going to bring this tangible new chapter to your life. This often talks about, as you can see, an offer coming in, a new opportunity coming in. Of course, it can be anything. I mean, you already know what your manifestation is, but I will say, for those of you who are thinking about something career related or money related, this is a very, very good sign. But in general, whatever your goal might be, this tells me that when your manifestation comes, the effects of that are going to last in your life for a long time. So for example, if your goal was to become physically fit, it would be like you hit that goal and then you keep it for many, many years. You don't like hit a goal and then fall off the wagon. It's sustainable. You keep it going. Wow. So the energy looks really nice for you guys so far. Let's take a look at these oracle cards to clarify. So we have release. That makes a lot of sense. I'm going to put that here because that reminds me a lot of the death card. We have cycle with transformation, release and transformation. And then we have deceit. Wow. So what I'm seeing here is deep, deep inner work. With 5 and 25 here, May 25th could be an important date. I don't know when this video is going to be up, but that could be an important date for you. And also I'm thinking that like 5 is obviously 5 and 25 is like 5 times 5. So there's a lot of 5s going on, which is a number of change. This is confirming that big change is coming in your life. Definitely. Oh, and I also wanted to mention before, but I forgot. A Leo person could be significant, a Scorpio person could be significant, or an earth sign person, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you or someone else involved in this situation could have those placements. Also, the season of fall could be an important time, which if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, maybe May 25th is in the fall. But anyway, let's talk about the meaning of these cards. Definitely with release and transformation, this is giving me major healing vibes. I think that you guys have done a lot of work to release inner resistance that you've had towards your manifestation. And I think with deceit here, this is also something that's really hard. Like looking within yourself, I don't know if maybe saying you're lying to yourself is taking it too far, but I think you had to honestly look at how what you said you wanted and the actions that you were taking were not matching up. Like you say you want a life like this, but then your habits and your actions are showing something very different. I feel like that's what the deceit is talking about. And calling yourself out like that can be quite hard. And I feel like you guys have done that. So I think these cards are really just highlighting how deep you guys went and how much you have healed. And again, I feel like whatever this is that you're trying to manifest, it was like a catalyst for you, or you used it as a catalyst for a lot of growth. And it's really amazing to see. Looking up, I just saw 11:30 on the camera timer, which is not an angel number, but again, it could be an important date, November 30th. So now let's get into the deck that you guys chose. And I just saw 1144, which is an angel number. Repeating 1s and 4s together let me know that you have angelic support in this manifestation and that you are on the right path. You are in alignment right now. So let's see why this manifestation is not here yet. And for this part, we're going to use the deck. Did I already tell you? Anyway, whatever. We're using the deck that you guys chose. So this energy is looking marvelous, I must say. Why hasn't group number 1's manifestation come yet? We have the King of Swords. In the upright. We have the King of Wands in the upright. The Three of Cups, I want to say, probably. Three of Cups in reverse. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles in the upright. And finally, the Page of Swords in the upright. I think it's very interesting that we have the Page of Swords on this end and the King of Swords on this end, and that the Page, actually all of the beings are facing this way. I don't know what this is. Is that a fox? I don't know. The owl, the deer, everyone is moving towards this King of Swords. So it looks like we're seeing your journey of growth from the Page to the King, basically. I feel good about this energy because it seems to me like this is one of those situations where the outcome is directly determined by how much work you put in or how much effort you put in. This doesn't seem like a situation where you're powerless, for lack of a better word, or there's like external factors that you have no control over. It seems like something that you are very much in control of. However much energy you put towards it, that is how successful you are going to be. Or if you only take action towards the situation, then something will happen. So like for the degree, for how soon this happens and how close it is to what you envisioned, I feel like it's really up to you, and it's up to your consistent efforts. You will, to make this work, you will have to show up every day, or at least show up consistently and put in efforts over and over and over again. And this manifestation will be a culmination of those efforts. Whatever this is, whether it's studying, whether it's building a business, building a relationship with someone, it feels like you have to build this up over time and like keep showing up for it. Because with the Eight of Pentacles, this is like mastery through repetition. It's consistency is key. It's practice makes perfect. And the juxtaposition of air and earth here, you know, air is about ideas. It's just the spark of an idea we have, but it's this repetition here on earth that brings it to fruition. So it's really just that action is required here. With the Three of Cups in reverse, there's There's a couple different ways that I can interpret this, but I think it has to do with letting go of something or letting go of some kind of energy that is frivolous, or disconnecting from the narratives of certain people in your social circle. So there could be, for some of you, this is like a leisurely distraction that might be getting in the way. So for example, if you're trying to study, maybe there's like games or partying, and I'm all for resting. I'm all for enjoying your hobbies. I will never tell you not to do that. But it seems like there could be something that is really like sucking up all your time. And even if it's just temporary, like removing that temptation could be helpful. I'm using studying a lot as an example just because I feel like it lends itself very well to this energy. You definitely don't have to be a student. I'm also like in my exam season, so that kind of stuff is very at the forefront of my mind. But it would be like a student saying, okay, just until exams are over, I'm going to delete TikTok off my phone. Or like, just until exams are over, I'm only going to like play my game on the weekends, or I'm not going to go out partying until I'm done. You guys get the picture. It's like removing those kind of frivolous distractions and I guess finding more constructive ways of recharging. But the other interpretation of this, because the Three of Cups can talk about gossip, friends, acquaintances, people in your circle, people's gossip or people's chatter could be getting in your head. And again, this can apply to many situations. Maybe you're working towards a certain career and then you have people around you saying not to bother, or saying, oh, you know, that's going to be really hard, right? Or do you really want to do that? Or you might be very goal-oriented or trying to be very goal-oriented, but you're surrounded by people who are less so. And that doesn't mean anyone's above or below the other, but you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. And it's very good to surround yourself with people who are at a level that you want to be at, because you really do become like the people you're around. And the narrative, the talk around you, it can really, you can start to internalize it. So there might be some people or some influences around you that just aren't lending themselves to like hard work and dedication and discipline. And even if this manifestation has to do with like matters of the heart, what people have to say about your relationship, or like what people around you have to say about relationships in general, could maybe not be helpful. Like, for example, let's say you really, really like this person. You went on a date with someone and you really, really like them. And you're like, I'm going to text them. I'm going to ask them on a second date. And you have these friends around you who are like, no, you have to make them wait. You have to make them miss you. You have to make them nervous. Like kind of playing mind games, or saying that you shouldn't just do what you want to do because like, oh, that's going to push them away. And it's like, don't listen to them. If you like someone, go for it. Do what you really want to do. Like, you're not going to get into an authentic relationship by being inauthentic. So yeah, there's like a bad advice around you, or there's a distraction around you, something that might tempt you to go off your path, like off what you know is right. And it's interesting that this is the one reverse card, because it's like, it's this obstacle that you'll have to, almost like this test, if you will, that you'll go through on your path. And if you're able to overcome that, then it's smooth sailing. You guys, first of all, you're extremely talented. I think that you're a natural born leader. I think you have a strong sense of what you want your life to look like. And the way it's coming to me is like, you don't need anyone else to tell you what you should do with your life or what you want your life to look like. I feel like you had that idea or that dream just innately in you for a very long time. No one has to shape you into anything because you're already this fully formed soul with very, very strong desires. I saw 2121 as I was talking about this. That's the card of the world. So that tells me you're meant to go places and you're meant to make it very big. You're meant to achieve big accomplishments in this world. Maybe you're meant to travel the world. Maybe you're meant to be known around the world. Maybe you're meant to have a significant connection with a person or people from other cultures. And I also want to say that what you want wants you very, very much. It's reciprocal. That person wants you too. That industry wants you too, whatever it might be. I think that some people are very inspired by this energy of yours, while others are kind of threatened. And I think that those who might, I don't think it's intentionally like, oh, I feel threatened by group one, so I'm going to try to hold them back. I don't think it's happening at a subconscious level. Meaning, for example, if someone gives you that advice of like, oh no, don't text them, you have to wait to text them. They don't have that awareness of like, this is bad advice, but I'm going to give it to group one to throw them off. I think it's like subconscious. It's like this subconscious, I'm going to keep you on my level because that's where I can relate to you. That's where I understand you. You see what I mean? I'm trying to figure out how to word it best as I'm saying it, but it's not this intentional conscious like, oh, I see you moving up, so I want to hold you down. It's like, oh, wait, but if you do that, then I won't be able to relate to you. So come back down here where I can relate to you. And in that way, I could say that maybe you've been surrounded by people who are not the most self-aware when it comes to like why they live the way they do, or like what mindsets they're operating from, like people who don't really take the time to think about that. And I feel like you are in a place right now where you're doing a lot of reflection about why you do the things you do. And so the more you get into that path of spiritual discovery, the less you might relate to people around you. But just don't, and it sounds kind of cliche, but like don't dim your light to fit in. That's kind of the test to overcome, because as humans, the desire to fit in to the people in our pond, the desire to fit into the fish in our pond is very strong. To be relatable, to be connectable, to be likable. But you need to remember that there's so many millions of ponds in the world and so many different kinds of ponds. There's frog ponds, there's koi ponds, there's duck ponds, there's green ponds, blue ponds. You get the picture. And you don't have to fit into this one pond just because it's where you started off. You can find a pond that is more complementary to your beautiful, fiery energy. And so if you just remember, this is not all there is for me out there. Like, I'm bigger than this. Bloop, and just jump over it. Then you will overcome this obstacle. I just love that this is like your journey from page to a king. And we have two kings here, really emphasizing that mastery, really emphasizing that maturity. And then we finish off with the King of Swords. You definitely look at how armored up this person is. And I love that we have the consistency of antlers. He's armored up. He's got his weapon. He's holding it up. You got to be strong and disciplined to take this path. You definitely do, but you have what it takes. So I think for a lot of you, like, it's just a matter of time as you put in consistent efforts and they compound, your manifestation is bound to come. For a few of you, there may be that blockage, like if you're still a victim to those distractions or to that gossip, or those like frivolous pleasures, we might need to temporarily put those on hold so that we can focus. But I feel like more so you guys are very much on the right path, and it's just like, as you keep going and keep putting in your efforts, it's bound to happen. So let's finish off this reading with some oracle cards for any last messages and advice you might need. Ooh, we have more fire. This is the goddess of fire. So quite a bit of this fiery energy going on here with the sun and the king of wands. And now we have the goddess of fire. This says, know your worth, or recognize your worth. When you do, the world will change. So there we go again with that world message. I feel like you guys are meant to be successful on a large scale, or known on a large scale. We also have leader, and I literally said you guys are a natural born leader, and more fire energy because we have like Leo, a lion. And it says today, yes, today, but just in general, you are the main role. You are the main character. You are meant to go places, and you are meant to make decisions that serve you. We have, it says, get rid of self-centered thinking. This is very interesting. That Leo energy is really a double-edged sword. Well, actually, all of the signs' energy can be a double-edged sword. Like, it can manifest in good ways and challenging ways. We definitely want that feeling of like, I am the main character, I am my best friend, I need to do what's best for me. But if we take on too much of that self-centered thinking, we can become very self-conscious, and we can think, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but we can think we're more important than we actually are. And this is what I mean by that. Well, I have a couple different examples of this, of like thinking you're more important than you actually are. And it's actually quite liberating when you realize that you're not. But one example would be like, if you're in a company and you're not happy there and you want to leave and pursue your own thing, but you're like, I can't leave because like everyone's going to be so upset, and like I don't want to hurt anyone, or like I don't want to inconvenience anyone. So it might come off, and maybe it is like a people-pleasing way of thinking, but at the same time, it's like, they're gonna be fine, you know? Like, they're not gonna die because you left. Everything is gonna be okay. And that's what I mean by like, you're not that important. Or the other one is like, if you did something that you're embarrassed about or nervous about, and you're like, oh, everybody's looking at me, everybody's laughing at me, everybody's thinking this and that about me. No, they're not. They're probably not even thinking about you. So yes, we want to be confident, but also we don't want to take ourselves so seriously that we become so self-conscious and think everyone's thinking about us and everything we do is going to affect everyone. Like, you're not that, it sounds so harsh, but it's like you're not that special in everyone's life. And that should be very, very freeing. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can put yourself first. And then finally, we have happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Your sign that you are on the right path is when you are feeling happy, you are feeling fulfilled. And maybe that sounds like obvious, maybe that sounds like, yeah, duh. But I think sometimes we tell ourselves that we need to be struggling or we need to be suffering in order to earn happiness. And this card is challenging that. You can and deserve to feel happy throughout this whole process. So I think that's everything for my group number ones. I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram, on Patreon. You can find me on my music channel. I also have a vlog channel which I should really start linking. Maybe I'll do that from this video. And also, I have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It really, really means a lot to me. Group number 1, I am sending you so much love and best of luck, whatever this is you're trying to manifest. I just know it's going to be amazing and you're already doing such a great job. Thank you so much for being here. Sending lots of love to your spirit guides as well, your spiritual team, both here on Earth and in the other realms, and lots of love as well to anyone who might be involved in this situation. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the fire quartz, this is going to be your reading. So the first thing that we're going to see is the current energies surrounding the thing that you are trying to manifest. So as I'm shuffling this deck, keep in mind the thing you are manifesting. Things are speeding up for this group. Things are going to start moving quicker than before. We have the Knight of Coins in reverse, lacks direction, feeling stuck, irresponsible, bored, unstable, impatient, doesn't finish things, and stifled. We have the Five of Wands with harmony restored. This is in reverse. Harmony, situations resolve, finding common ground, cooperation, and solutions. And then we have the King of Swords in reverse, authoritarian, sarcastic, cold, controlling, unbending, lacks integrity, sharp, drunk on power, and loose cannon. Okay, so I would guess, judging from the energies that are here, it looks like there are multiple people involved in whatever you are trying to manifest, like at least one other person. And I think in the current energy, we are ironing out kinks, we are resolving conflict. I feel like there have been some blockages in this situation because the people involved were not on the same page. Or if it's really only you involved in this manifestation, I feel like there were different aspects of you that weren't on the same page. Just for an easy example, a part of you that really, really wants to work hard and a part of you that really, really wants to rest, or a part of you that craves love and intimacy and a part of you that is afraid of it. There's like aspects of you that are at odds. This could also be that you were, almost fell off my chair. You were at odds with external circumstances. So you really wanted to, let's say, pour your energy into a project, but then life threw this at you and life threw that at you, and you had to deal with this thing and you had to deal with that thing, and you couldn't find time. It feels like there were conflicting energies between what you and what you really wanted to do. But I think for many of you, this has to do with people, discord among people in this situation, because we have 2 court cards, 2 out of 3, and they generally do talk about people because they are people. We have with this Knight of Pentacles a feeling of stagnancy. We can't seem to come to an agreement, and so we can't move forward. And with the King of Swords here in reverse, I could read it just as the keywords say. Maybe someone was being too controlling, was being too stubborn, wasn't willing to compromise. Like, for example, if you're working in a group project and someone has an idea that is honestly not very good, and you're trying to compassionately tell them that, but they're like dead set on doing this idea, and then the project isn't successful and they just can't seem to let it go. It's like someone is too stuck or too stubborn on doing things their own way that they are actually causing problems for the group. That's just one example. But another way of interpreting a King of Swords in reverse is someone who is detached from their emotions to the point of it being unhealthy and to the point of it sabotaging their relationships. Having a little bit of detachment from our emotions is a good thing, because it means that when we're overwhelmed with emotions, we can step back, we can cool down, we can look at the situation objectively, we can say, okay, this emotion is just a reaction I'm having. It doesn't have to control me. So a good amount of detachment is good. It can be healthy. But when we have the King of Swords in reverse, it could be someone who is ignoring their emotions. So, for example, you really want a relationship to work because you care about this person and they care about you too, but for some reason they are running away from their own feelings of love. They are running away from their own feelings of longing because of some fear that they have, or they don't want to be perceived as weak. Maybe someone's afraid of admitting that they're wrong because they don't want to be perceived as weak. I did want to say, when I was pulling these cards, the number 135 was on the camera timer, which is a succession of masculine numbers. So someone in this situation is maybe in a more toxic masculine energy or a disempowered masculine energy, where they are completely disowning the emotional and intuitive side of themselves, where they're trying to be like structured to the point of being rigid and stubborn. So it's like someone else you're dealing with has been kind of difficult, or there's a certain aspect of you that has been difficult to deal with. But because these aspects of the situation could not get along, it feels like things haven't moved forward. But what we see in the middle here is harmony restored. And this is why I think I was picking up on that. Things are speeding up. Like, we are overcoming this conflict. We're finding a resolution. We're finding a way for you and the other people to see on the same page, or if it's just you, for all of the aspects of you to start getting along and working together. Because at the end of the day, you really do want the same things, right? You want to be happy, you want to be successful, and you will find a way to move forward that makes everybody happy, or that all aspects of you will be happy and cooperating. So let's take a look at some oracle cards as well to clarify these messages. We have patience, deception, and we have blossoming abundance. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely getting the feeling that there's another person or another people. Sorry, I'm having a hard time like saying words correctly in this group. Yeah, seems like there's another person or people involved in this situation. We have multiple people on this card. We have the numbers 7 and 3, which could be significant. They could be important dates like July 3rd or March 7th. I am getting the feeling, yeah, like you've dealt with someone who is difficult. And it's hard because I feel like it's either someone that you can't just drop, or you don't want to, because you really care for them and you really see the potential that they have and the potential that this connection has. And so you've been patient with them. And what I'm picking up specifically with the deception card is that it feels like there's someone who will say things to other people, will talk about the situation to other people, and you're like, why don't you just come and tell me that directly? So, for example, let's say this is someone at work, because it looks like these people are in a workplace, and you're working with, this is, Jerry, and you're working with Jerry on a project, and he has an issue with you. And he's going around and telling other people in the workplace about this issue that he has with you. I just wish that group number 2 would be more like this. And it's like, what are you going to accomplish by telling everyone else? Like, just just come and tell me about it and then we can move forward. So Jerry's being kind of difficult. Or this could be like a person of interest, a love interest who is being distant with you, but then they're going and saying all these lovely things about you to the people in their life, talking about how much they care about you and how amazing you are and like how they really want good things for this relationship. But then with you, they're not saying these things. They're being distant. And it's like, I don't get it. There's a feeling of you not getting it. And with this conflict, like it could be that you're dealing with someone who acts one way with you and then acts a completely different way with other people. And you're like, why don't you bring that same energy to me? That's the vibe that I'm getting with this deception. And it's so frustrating because I feel like you are frustrated with this person, but at the same time, you either really care about them, like on a personal level, or you know that good things will come from this partnership. And so you are trying to stick it out. You're trying to be patient. You're trying to be compassionate. We have the number 3 here, which is the number of the Empress. So some of you guys could love this person. For some of you, this person is family. Or this is just your energy of being very generous, very compassionate, and you're trying to extend that to the person or people in this situation. And I feel like this is you, like with your heart lit up. And it's just difficult to see them engaging in behaviors that you know are not helpful to them or to anyone for that matter. Yeah, it's been tough. We're dealing with like a lot of conflicting energies. So let's get into the deck that you guys chose now. And we'll see why isn't this manifestation happening? An air sign person or an earth sign person could be significant. So air is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And actually 3 is the number of Gemini, 7 is the number of Libra. So emphasis on Gemini and Libra. And then Knight of Coins would be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm also noticing that the 3 zodiac signs that we have here, Leo, Virgo, Libra, this does show like a window of time because Leo, Virgo, Libra are all connected. So Leo season to Libra season could be an important time for you guys, late July to late October. Okay, so again, think about the situation as I'm shuffling. Why hasn't this manifestation happened for group number 2? We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Why hasn't this manifestation happened? 2 of Swords in reverse. We have the 8 of Swords. We have these 2 which came out together, so I will keep them together. The Queen of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. And then we have the 8 of Cups in the upright. Okay, so there's a couple things that I can see about you guys. As a person, I think you are extremely loyal and extremely perseverant. It takes a lot for you to give up, especially when it comes to others and like seeing the good in others and making things work with others. The Queen of Pentacles, she's extremely patient. This is you guys, extremely generous, tolerant, nurturing. And the 8 of Pentacles like keeps working at something and doesn't give up. So I feel like this is representing your personality. The other thing I see about you guys as a soul, you are highly perceptive to energies around you. And it's like you respond to or match energies around you. I feel like this is a highly sensitive group. Even looking at this deception card, there's some nonsense going on over here, and this person looks very troubled by it. I feel like things that are happening around you, physically or energetically, affect you or bother you a lot more than other people. You might be, just for an example, like there's some people who can't watch horror movies, even if they know it's not real. Like watching people being scared or watching people being hurt really bothers them. Or if you go into a room where there's a lot of people feeling nervous, then you will feel that tension and like you will not be able to stay in that room. Being, for example, like in a stadium, in an arena with all this conflicting energy, it could have a really heavy impact on you. You are very perceptive to energies around you, and you match them. You match them very easily. So like if you're in a room with a lot of joy, you just become joyful. If you're in a room with a lot of tension, you become tense. And we all have a little bit of that, but I feel like it's very delicate for you. It's very finely tuned for you. So the reason this manifestation hasn't happened yet is because deep down, it feels, or it looks to me, like you're not really sure about it. You're either not really sure if this is what you want, or you're not really sure if this will be the best for you, because emotionally, something feels off. Something feels missing. This can be any situation, as you know, the thing that you're trying to manifest. But an example that's coming to my mind is like a situationship where in our mind, we think that we really want to be with this person, that we really want to make things work. But somewhere deep down, we're like, this doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm not being chosen. I feel like I'm not being treated with the respect that I want. I feel like I'm not a priority. Something feels off here. And as much as we might care for that person and feel a lot of positive things about them, somewhere deep in our soul, we're like, this isn't right. And like, we can't shake that feeling. And so in that way, we're split. We have a split within ourselves. We're sending mixed messages to the universe. Like where one part of us is saying, I want this to happen, but another part of us is rejecting and resisting the way that it currently is. And we have to ask, do I actually want this, what I'm experiencing, or do I want something different that is hypothetical? Do I want something different that is a fantasy version of this situation? And I feel like deep down your soul knows that something is missing here, that your cup is not being filled, that you're not receiving the love you deserve or the energy you deserve or the recognition you deserve. Someone is not compromising, or maybe someone is not respecting you or seeing your worth. And so it's like consciously, I think you tell yourself you want it to work, but unconsciously or in your soul, you're moving away from it. Because you're like, this doesn't feel good. Your conscious mind wants to stick it out. Because I think some part of your ego like identifies very strongly with that personality trait. And so you don't want to go against that. You're like, no, I'm loyal. No, I show compassion till the very end. I stick it out. I make it work. Like I'm going to make it work in this situation. I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to drop this person, or I'm not going to walk away from this situation. Your conscious mind and your ego really wants to keep identifying with that personality, or it's just you've built it up so much that it's hard to move on. But I feel like your soul knows that something is not right, or your soul knows that there's better out there for you. And so subconsciously you end up holding back. Subconsciously you end up sending mixed messages to the universe of like, I don't know what I want. Part of me wants it and part of me doesn't. I don't know what to do. And you end up subconsciously holding yourself back. And I mean, I think the way to make this manifest is that all of you is pointing in one direction. If you can say with all of you, I want this, then it will come. But it's like split right now. It's like you're not sure. Is this what I really want? Is this really in alignment? And with the, there's a lot of 8s I'm just noticing. 8, 8, 8. With the 8 of Cups here, this is about walking away. And I think this is going to be hard. Looking at this crescent moons make me think of following your intuition, which I think your intuition is like, has been gently nudging or whispering that something is missing here, because we have a cup in reverse. It's pouring out. And it's a waning moon. It's fading into nothing. It's fading into a clean slate. It's diminishing. And I think this is especially hard to walk away from because the cups are not completely empty. Like, they are half full. But there's this feeling of, do I want to keep accepting half full? Do I want to just say, like, this is what I'm going to get? And no, because even the part of you that's like, I want to keep fighting, even that part is admitting, like, this is not the way I want it to be. And I think that, we spoke about harmony being restored. I think that this is referring to, because your energy is split right now. And I think that soon all of the aspects of you will want the same thing. All of the aspects of you will be facing the same direction. And that's when this situation can manifest either way. But there's an indecision right now, or there's a niggling feeling that, like, what I'm aiming for right now, something is wrong because it's not filling my cup. It's not honoring me. Maybe we need to unpack this aspect of the ego that wants to be like fiercely loyal at all times, even when it hurts us, and wants to be very perseverant. There's nothing, perseverant is a good trait, but we need discernment as well. With any trait, we need discernment of when we use it and when we don't use it, and with whom we use it. And it's like walking away from this situation is hard because it would negate like a personality trait that you would identify with a lot, or like a part of your ego that you're attached to. So the situation is not moving forward because we need to get very clear about what we truly want in this situation. And we need to go in that direction with our actions, with our thoughts, and with our emotions, and with our soul. When all of those things are on the same page, then we'll get out of this limbo. And judging from this card, I think we are moving in that direction of all the aspects of you being on the same page. So we're going to finish off the reading now with some oracle cards to see if there's any more messages and advice you need. So we have Pegasus with the number 22. It is time to fly. Spread your wings and fly free. Free yourself. Interesting. And we have, oh, interesting. We have number 22 and 23. So we have a succession. And this is flow. It's time to ride the flow or go with the flow. It's time to ride the wave. So we have both of these cards saying it's time to move forward. It's time to go places. It's time to free yourself. We have, this is a little bit hard to translate, but have you been getting in the habit of saying later? Have you been getting in the habit of putting things off? Maybe deep down you know the answer to these questions. Deep down you know what you need to do, but you're putting it off out of fear. The Eight of Swords does talk about entertaining thoughts that hold us back, keeping ourselves in a mental prison of sorts. Are you getting in the habit? All of these cards are calling to action. This is like stop putting things off to later. Like do what you need to do now. Ride the wave, fly away, fly free. I think it's like deep down your soul just wants to be free from this situation. It feels like this is not me. I'm not meant to be in this frustrated energy, in this depleted energy, in this resistant energy. I'm meant to be free. I'm meant to be detached and completely free. And then we have patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. We have the message of patience coming out twice. For some of you, this might be that situation of like when you love something, let it go. And what is it? Like if it comes back, then that's how you know it's meant to be. I think that patience is also one of those things. We say patience is a virtue, but our patience also needs discernment. Because there's a big difference between being patient for something that is going to serve us and fulfill us and being patient with something that is causing us a lot of stress. And it seems like you've been really patient for something that deep down the stress or the dissatisfaction outweighs the contentment and the fulfillment. What are we really being patient for? Are we being patient for the right things? Is our patience serving us? I think if you need guidance, if you ever need more answers, there is a feeling of surrender with this card. I think you can always ask your guides for a sign. I want to be careful not to tell you what to do, but I can say it looks like the energies are pointing towards like moving on and freeing yourself from the situation, but you shouldn't do that if it doesn't feel right. If you are having trouble letting go, I think this is also about being patient with yourself and knowing that the right answer will come to you in time. I'm a big proponent of like not forcing or rushing yourself to move on from things if you don't want to, if it still doesn't feel right. I don't think you're like in any kind of danger, because it seems like you have all the time in the world to make your decision. But it does seem like deep down you want to get out of this discomfort. I just want to be free again. I just want to be me again. I just want to not worry and not care about this situation anymore. That's the feeling. This is kind of it's kind of a personal story, but I guess I can share it. I had a lot of issues with my body when I was a teenager, like 10-ish years ago. And I would say like I just wanted so badly for my body to change. I just want it so bad. I just want it so bad. But that's not really what I wanted. deep down, I just wanted to stop caring so much and to stop hurting so much. I just wanted relief from the mental agony. And I thought that my body changing would do that. And sometimes I would be in these introspective moments and I would ask myself, what would I rather have? Would I rather have this body that I wanted? Or would I rather have a brain that is free from those expectations, that is free from those standards, that doesn't care, that is at peace? And deep down, I knew I want that brain that doesn't care. I want that brain that is just happy. But my ego said, oh, of course I want the body. And I would listen to the ego because the ego is louder. But there was always that disconnect. There's the loud ego that's like, I want to change. And so that would punish me and restrict me. And then there was the voice of my soul deep down that was like, I want to be free from this. I just want to relax. I just want to live how I want. So I would be in this yo-yo, in this limbo, because those two parts of me were conflicting. And I guess in that tug of war, finally my ego got tired. Yay, it was like, okay, fine. Well, I'm probably oversimplifying it. There was a whole journey there. There's a whole healing journey. But my soul won at the end. So maybe you're going through something similar where your ego is stubbornly saying like, no, I want this. But deep down your soul is like, I want to be free from this. I want to be free from the pressure to make this happen. I want to be free from the pressure to make this work. That's my, suggestion from what I see here. Of course, only you can make that call, but this is what I see from the cards that are present. So I think that's all the messages I have for you guys. So group number 2, I'm going to end this reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a cards on Instagram, pick a cards on Patreon. You can listen to the song that was at the start of this video, as well as my other original songs on my music channel. And you can watch my vlogs on my vlog channel, and you can find my merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It means so much to me. Group number 2, I'm sending you guys lots of love, and lots of love to anyone else who may be involved in this situation. I'm sending love to your spirit guides, to your spiritual team, and your loved ones, both here on earth and in other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Iolite, this is going to be your reading. So the first thing that we are going to do is check in on the energies surrounding your manifestation. So as I'm shuffling these cards, keep in mind the thing, the outcome, whatever it is that you are trying to manifest. For group number 3, what is the energy currently surrounding this thing that they are trying to manifest? What is the energy like? Okay, so we're starting off with the 5 of Cups in the upright. It says unwelcome change, grief, sadness, loss, mourning, emotional baggage, and resisting change. We have the 4 of Wands in reverse, people divided, lack of support, disunion, unwelcome, family problems, divorce, canceled events, and discord. And then we have The Seven of Cups in the upright with many possibilities. Unclear, illusion, confusion, lacking focus, wishfulness, shiny object syndrome, and wild imagination. So there's a couple different ways that I can interpret these cards. Kind of similar energies though. I think that some of you guys who chose this group, the thing that you are trying to manifest is actually something that you once had. Like you're trying to manifest something or someone back into your life because the situation has changed and you didn't want it to change. The Five of Cups can talk about a heartbreak, and we also have people divided. So maybe this is like a separation situation and you're trying to manifest a reunion. Of course, you already know what you're trying to manifest, and I don't want this to be about me like trying to figure out what it is. But there is a feeling of you missing something or someone, or really, really feeling the absence of this thing when it's not here. I would say that if this is your group, you are having a hard time staying optimistic. It's hard to just be in that allowing energy of like, if it happens, it happens. If not, then it's not meant to be, or it will happen in divine timing. Like, I feel it's hard to stay open and it's hard to stay optimistic that the best outcome will happen. And there's definitely a feeling of missing. I think there's also a feeling of like a lack of clarity, not knowing the way that this is going to end. And I feel like this group is kind of struggling with not knowing. I think it's hard for this group to say, like, I don't know how the situation is going to end and I'm okay with that. You're like, I want to know. I want to know. There's something uncomfortable about these changes, or there's something uncomfortable about this in between. So let's take a look at some oracle cards to clarify this energy. We have wisdom. We have energy with planning and action. And we have broken heart. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So this is something that you either once had, or just not having it is quite difficult. So yeah, if you resonate with this energy, then this is your group, because this is very specific. I'm getting a feeling with this Five of Cups and this broken heart, and also this wisdom card. I'm thinking of something that I once read in, it was either Journey of Souls or Destiny of Souls, which Destiny of Souls is a sequel of Journey of Souls. But basically this doctor puts their clients under hypnosis, and then they revisit memories of previous incarnations. They revisit memories of like going through the process of dying, of coming out of their physical vessel. And this passage is coming back to me right now of people who had passed on in a previous incarnation, and they're still with their loved ones, and they're trying to let their loved ones know, like, hey, I'm still here. I love you. I'm with you. I'm close by. But their loved one cannot hear them or cannot sense them because they're so overcome by grief. So it would be like, for example, a man has passed away and like his wife is inconsolable and his spirit is right there and he's trying to get his wife's attention, but she just cannot even perceive of him because her emotions are so overwhelming. And the reason I'm talking about this, the reason I want to apply this to your situation is because group number 3, I really do feel like there is a way to turn your situation around. There is a way to manifest your desired outcome. And I feel like with this wisdom card and this mermaid being looking like not physical, looking like a spirit, I feel like your guides and your higher self are trying to communicate to you that there are actions that we can take, like there's a strategy that you can devise, like we can get through this, we can still make this work. But because something has not turned out the way you hoped, it's like you're so consumed in that sadness or in that disappointment that you can't hear their advice right now. And this is just the current energy. So maybe this is just like a grieving period that you're temporarily in, or a period of disappointment or confusion after something didn't turn out the way you'd hoped. And it's like you can't understand why it happened this way. And your guides and your higher self are trying to tell you like, no, it's okay. Like, let's keep going, or let's try a different approach, or there's a way to fix this. There's a way to move forward, but it's kind of like you can't hear that right now. Or like you're so confused about how to move forward because you were so sure that it was this one way that was gonna get you your manifestation. So one concrete example that I can give is like, let's say you really, really wanted to move to Switzerland or something, and you finally got a job offer there, or you had an interview there, and you were just so set, like, this is it, this is my sign from the universe, this is how I'm gonna get my visa so that I can go live there. And you already kind of put all of your emotional eggs in that basket. And then let's say you go to that interview and you never hear back, or you don't get it. Because you had so much expectation on that being the way that you were gonna get your manifestation, it would completely break you. And so, and I don't want to say like, oh, just get over it and just get up. Like, we need time to grieve. We need time to be upset. That is for sure. It's important to process our emotions. But I think what your guides are trying to say in this spread is like, oh, we have other plans. We have other ways to make this work. It's just that maybe you can't see them right now. And there's that feeling of maybe being overwhelmed. Like, do I have to go back to the drawing board now? I felt like I made so much progress on the way to my manifestation. And because this thing didn't work out, now I'm really, really confused because it really seemed like this was the way. Or like just a feeling of being overwhelmed. Like, I don't know how to make this work. I feel like I've lost it. And so your guides are just... it's like they're simultaneously validating your emotions, but also want to comfort you and let you know that these emotions are temporary. And once you process them and once they subside, you will be able to hear us again, and we will be back with more guidance. We will be back with another plan, because there are so many ways to make this work and it's never over. That's what they want you to know about this. It's never over. There will always be a way. Where there's your will, there's a way, and where there's love, there is a way, and there is love here. So I think so far the guidance that I would give to you is allow yourself to feel the disappointment, because that's important as well. You know, when this card comes up, the broken heart, I like to think of this as a tear that is mending the heart, because it's running along the crack. So it's like, it's the very pouring of the tears that will heal us. We have to feel these emotions so that we can heal. So yes, it sucks when you thought something was going to work out and you had your hopes up and you were excited about it. And we want you to feel those emotions because that is the healthy thing to do. But also recognize that this is just a moment in time. This disappointment is only temporary. And it's so relevant, like when I feel like it's so relevant when I see certain like posts on Instagram and certain people's perspectives. I was just reading this post today that was saying like, sometimes you can't meditate and journal your way out of a difficult situation. Sometimes you need to just feel the difficult emotions. And one of the comments was like, you know, I'm going through this right now and I just need to remind myself that I've been here before and I survived. And as much as my sadness or grief tries to tell me that this time is different and it's the end of the world, I've always survived, and I've always gotten back up on my feet. I've always gotten through the tough emotions, and this time is no different. There is another way. There is another way. Okay, so let's get into the deck that you guys have chosen now. So let's dig into the why now. We've seen the current energy surrounding your manifestation. Now we want to find out, why hasn't it happened for you yet? Why hasn't group number 3's manifestation happened for them yet? Why isn't it here yet? We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which it didn't actually fall out of the deck. It as I was shuffling, it flipped over. So I feel like that's relevant. And that's interesting as well, because the Ace of Pentacles talks about a new offer coming your way, a new opportunity coming your way. It can be personal or professional, but I feel like you guys are waiting on some kind of offer, opportunity, or new beginning. And I think you're really just wanting stability in your life. You're wanting something that you can count on. But with this in the reverse, again, it's that feeling of it's not coming, and there's a feeling of frustration there. And even the fact that this card didn't fall out, it just kind of flipped over. It just kind of showed itself. I feel like there's a frustration in this group because it felt like you were so close to manifesting what you wanted. It felt like you were so close to getting it. And maybe this has happened numerous times where an opportunity presented itself to you and then it didn't work out. And then something else presented itself and it didn't work out. Why isn't group number 3's manifestation here yet? We have the Three of Pentacles in the upright and the Knight of Swords in the upright, which came out together. Okay. Then we have the Hierophant in reverse and the Knight of Cups in the upright coming up together. Then we have Strength in the upright. And then we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Wow. Okay. So now that I've seen all of these cards coming out, the Ace of Pentacles has presented a new interpretation. And that is that there is a lack mentality present for this group. And I feel like, I guess if I put it simply, I'll put it simply first and then we'll go a little bit more in depth. Your manifestation or your desired outcome is not here yet because you deserve more and you deserve better. So an easy example of this is like that, the Switzerland example that I was talking about before. There would be a feeling of like, I just want to get there as soon as possible. Like, I just want it to happen as soon as possible. But in that example, that job interview that person went to, that was not a very good job for them. That wasn't a very good match for them. But because they were really feeling the absence of what they wanted. They were really feeling a void of not having what they want, and they just wanted to fill that void. It almost becomes like, I'll fill that void with anything if I can just stop feeling this absence. Or I just want to feel like something is happening because I'm tired of things not happening. I see this energy sometimes. And, I'm thinking, I think these are chameleons. At least that's how I'm seeing them, and here as well. And we have a Three of Pentacles that talks about teamwork and collaboration. And I feel like group number 3s, you guys are changing yourself too much or molding yourself too much to match the opportunities that are coming your way. And I can also give an example of someone who is trying to find their partner, trying to find their life partner. And they really feel lonely when they are single. They really feel the lack of a partner when they don't have one. And so when they meet someone who they perceive as a potential match, they might not be completely compatible with that person, or that person might not be capable of giving them everything they deserve. But because there is a part of them that wants so badly to stop feeling this loneliness and just wants to have a partner, they might convince themselves like, oh, it's okay, I can adapt to them. I can accommodate them. I can change to fit their preferences. I can change to make them comfortable. And yeah, you could say the same thing with a job. Like, you go to a job interview and they're like, well, we want you to come in on weekends. Is that okay? And like, also you have to dye your hair like black or something to work with us. And these are not things that you want to do, but you're like, you just want to get that offer. So you're like, okay, I'll do it. There's a feeling of being accommodating to people or situations that are not returning that accommodation to you. So you end up being the one who has to adapt, or you feel like you have to adapt because you just want to get this offer. You just kind of want it to be, and maybe this is not the best wording, but you just want it to be like done with. So, this potential person that I'm dating, they don't really fit this and this and this. I don't really like that, but it's okay. Like, I'm just being picky. It's okay. There's a feeling of being too accommodating for another party who would not do the same for you, who would not reciprocate. And there's a feeling of you deserving better. Like, your guides don't want you to end up in a situation like that where you're overlooking your true desires and needs and your true expectations and your true criteria for someone or something that is potentially going to come be a match for you. So we're kind of, this looks like a rejection is protection kind of situation where there's so much better out there for you. With the Hierophant in reverse and the Knight of Cups as well, the Hierophant in reverse is something that is not a match, because in the upright, this talks about being in alignment with our higher self. It talks about living in our truth, or that's one of the things it can talk about. And then with this Knight of Cups coming in, again, it's like, I think this is you being so compassionate to others, being so kind to others, being so accommodating to others. And I also think that in this Knight of Cups, the cup is out of the Knight's reach. So it's like, it's a combination of you honestly like not asking for enough for yourself or expecting enough for yourself, and it's a combination of that and feeling a lack and just wanting to feel like something is there as soon as possible. But your guides are saying it doesn't have to be like this. You know, with the Nine of Wands in reverse, it means you don't have to be strong. You don't have to put up with things that are not what you want, or even in some cases that are red flags. When you get into a lack mentality, it's dangerous because you can start to overlook your own red flags or overlook your own deal breakers or things that would normally rub you the wrong way or upset you, or just things that are not ideal for you. You start to go like, oh, that's okay. Like, I can accommodate you. And, you know, everything requires a bit of sacrifice and everything requires a bit of compromise. So you kind of put on this strong face to make it work. And your guides are saying that you don't have to do that. In your ideal situation, you won't feel like you're compromising yourself. You won't feel like, oh, I just have to step up and be strong to make this work. It will just come easily. It will just feel right. And I feel like the perfect match for you has maybe not come yet, but it is out there. But everyone we meet along the way, or every situation we encounter along the way, it does teach us more and more about what we truly do want. So for example, if we have like our perfect match, our life partner, every person that we date before them teaches us a little bit more about ourselves, about what we want and expect out of a relationship, and it teaches us a bit more about our strengths and weaknesses and where we might need work. It teaches us more about our conditions for a relationship. It teaches us more about our boundaries. So even though everything we experience is not like our ultimate desired outcome, it's still important. It still teaches us something along the way that is valuable. And I really think for this group, finding your perfect match, meeting with your manifestation, it's just a matter of time. But along that journey, it does seem like you've been protected from things that were not best for you, or things that were meant for you at one point but not meant for you forever have fallen away. And of course that's difficult. So it's giving a feeling of like, why, for example, why did I meet this person if we weren't going to end up together? Or why did I meet this person and why did I end up in a relationship with them if they were not my forever person? And the answer to that is there's so many things that we are meant to experience that are not forever. There's so many things we're meant to experience that don't completely reach a final form, but we're still meant to experience them. If we skipped ahead and just went straight to the ending, straight to our life partner, straight to our dream career, whatever it might be, we wouldn't be ready for it because we missed all of this growth. We missed all of this character development. We missed all of this wisdom. If we skipped forward just to the end where we get what we want, we wouldn't know what to do with it. And it wouldn't be meaningful. So I think this is just a matter of, it's really just a matter of time. It's really just a matter of going through your journey. And I also think, if I can give like harsh advice, I think that this group needs to like raise their bar a little bit, raise their standards for the things that are offered to you. Because it's one thing to be adaptable, but I feel like this group is accepting situations where their needs aren't met because they're like, oh, it's okay, I'll adapt to you. Oh, it's okay, I'll accommodate you. And being adaptable and accommodating is okay when both parties are doing it. When both people are putting in effort. But I feel like there's people or situations out there that are like, this is just how I am and I'm not going to change. And then you're like, okay, then I'll change so that I can be with you. I'll change so that we can make this work. And it's like your guides, honestly, harshly, like don't want you to do that anymore. You don't have to be strong like that, or it doesn't have to be hard like that. And it's really just a matter of time and patience before your perfect match comes along. And I also want to say, it's just a matter of time and patience that you can finally understand why you went through all of these things in between. But I can tell you that all of these things in between are valuable. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going through them. So let's take some last oracle cards to get other messages and advice that you may need. We have the breath of love. It says, take a deep breath and receive the power of life. It's like take a breath and feel the power of being alive. Feel the love that exists in the air that you breathe. Oh, we have the number 2 as well. And this also makes me think of like a match, a perfect match for you. And we have the keyword supporter. It says, if you heal yourself, then you heal those around you. As you heal, others around you heal as well. So we have stillness, we have breath, we have healing. As you heal from the inside out, you will attract that which is a match to your healed self. And I feel like as you heal a lack mentality, and that's another thing that I saw today. It's like, wait, I'm literally, I need to read it like so that I can get it word for word, but it was a post by Behati Life, who I highly recommend following if you don't already. She has a YouTube channel and an Instagram. It says, the only way to have more is to stop holding on to less. And then there is a long caption, which I would recommend reading. Of course, I'm not going to read the whole thing right now, but that's very important. The only way to have more is to stop holding on to less. Wow. We have find the cause of disorder in your body and in your mind. So this is all about going within and healing. It's all about going within and healing. And honestly, maybe there's some rejection or heartbreak from quite a long time ago that still hasn't been totally healed. Like, for example, this is just one example, but let's say you're trying to manifest love, but like 10 years ago, you had a partner who was unfaithful to you, and that really affected your ability to trust people. But it's so many years ago that maybe, and I had something like this for me as well, something that happened back when I was 16, which is like 12 years ago, affected me for a very long time, and still I catch it affecting me sometimes. But sometimes when things happened such a long time ago, your conscious mind thinks like, oh, they couldn't possibly be still having an effect. But if you go within, you'll realize that that wound is still very much there. It might just be operating on a subconscious level. So, you know, in this example, maybe you had a partner who was unfaithful to you like 10 years ago, and you still have trust issues, and you still have issues with really letting your guard down to a partner. And so you might be, in this example, subconsciously sabotaging relationships. So it's like, And, you know, consciously you want to get close to people and you're like, why can't I find someone that I relate to on an intimate level? And it's because this wound is still there and is trying to effectively stop you from getting in that intimate place with someone again so that you don't get hurt again. But it could be happening like subliminally. So I think all of these cards seem to be hinting about going within. It's funny that I referenced a book where people go under hypnosis because that's one way. That's one way to bring things back up from your subconscious. But these oracle cards do seem to be suggesting that there is an unconscious wound that is stopping you from moving forward because that wound doesn't want to be reactivated. And we have change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. It's almost like I'm getting Scorpio vibes. I'm getting transformation vibes. I'm getting vibes of release. Something is like dormant within you. It's like a wound that is dormant. And it needs to be brought up, which is very uncomfortable, so that it can fly away. Orange and blue seem to be relevant colors as well. Like, actually, these flowers look very similar. Orange on the inside and blue on the outside. We even have orange and blue flowers here. What was I saying? Something is dormant that it's like it needs to be dislodged. It needs to be dislodged from your psyche because it feels like there's some kind of like self-sabotage that is going on with this group. Where it's like we want something consciously, but subconsciously we're afraid of it. Because this very thing that we want has hurt us a long time ago. And so subconsciously, it's like we don't want it, we're resisting it because we don't want that to happen again. So I think something subconscious needs to be revealed to you, which is why I think hypnosis came up. I don't know how much a hypnosis session costs. I don't know what the availability is like or the accessibility of hypnosis. But if you were thinking of doing something like that, then this could be a confirmation. I actually think that there are some hypnosis like meditations on YouTube, which would be free, of course. But going into a meditation could also be a way to reveal subconscious things to you, as well as in your dream state. But yeah, all of these are giving me that feeling. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys, my group number 3s, and I'm going to end the reading here. So thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I just saw 3434, by the way, and this is an example of something coming back up that I didn't mention, because maybe I need to mention it. But 3 and 4 make me think of the Empress and the Emperor, so like divine counterparts. And orange and blue as well makes me think of divine counterparts. So a divine counterpart connection could be relevant to this group, or healing your masculine energy or healing your feminine energy. So there could be a part of you that is resisting being in your feminine energy because of painful experiences that you've had with toxic femininity or with the feminine part of you being shamed. Or you could be resisting being in your masculine energy, again, because of your experiences with toxic masculinity or the masculine side of you being shamed. And we need to restore that balance. Yeah, just a last message that came up that I wanted to share with you guys. But if you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can find my pick a card readings on Patreon, where you get to choose the topic. You can find my music on my music channel, which includes the song that you heard at the start of this video. That is an original song. And you can find my merch at kinotarot.com. We have merch featuring the temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. Group number 3s, I am sending you so much love and sending lots of love to anyone who is involved in this situation as well. Much love to your spirit guides and your whole spiritual team, both here on Earth and in other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the orange calcite, this is going to be your reading. By the way, this orange calcite was a gift from Madison, aka Esoteric. This is also her candle, by the way. But yeah, she and I have identical pieces of orange calcite now. So let's get into your reading. We're gonna start off by seeing the current energies surrounding your manifestation. So as I'm shuffling this deck, just keep in mind whatever it is that you are trying to manifest. What are the energies currently surrounding group number 4's manifestation? Wow, so we're starting off with the 10 of coins in the upright, and we have a family legacy, wealth, patriarch, domestic duty, lineage, buying a house, image, privilege, security, and estate. We have, wow, the star in the upright with wish granted, contentment, spirituality, inspiration, altruistic, serenity, purpose, renewal, healing, hope, calm, and faith. And we have the 2 of swords in the upright, frozen with indecision, unclear path, withholding, avoidance, stalemate, obstacles, and impasse. Okay, so we're starting off with 2 very positive energies for this group. I actually really like the energy of the 10 of coins and the star next to each other. It's almost, no, it is like your guides are saying your dream is very possible. It is very possible to ground this dream in reality. And they want to confirm this to you because to you, group number 4, it might feel like your dream is very lofty, I think is the word, like very big, very romanticized. You might think sometimes that it is unrealistic, maybe because your dream reality and your current reality are quite different, or maybe your dream is something that not many actually succeed in doing. But your guides are saying for you, if it's you, it is very possible. You have everything that it takes to make this dream a reality. And also what I can see with the 10 of Pentacles is that once you do manifest whatever this is, it is going to stay in your life and provide you security, stability, and a sense of purpose for a very long time. Whatever this is, it is going to provide for you financially, whether that's a career or a living situation or even a person who is going to provide for you. You are going to be very safe and secure. And whatever this is that you're trying to manifest, there's this feeling of like it is loyal to you. And so it will prefer to match up with you. It's kind of a strange message, but like, let's say there's a position that you really want to manifest, like a job position, that, or a position as someone's partner even if there's many people who want that same thing, it's going to favor you. It's going to choose you. Whatever you're trying to manifest not only wants you, but prefers you. There's almost this feeling of like it has to be you. This thing you're trying to manifest, it or they or whatever wants it to be you. It is like specifically made for you. It has to be you. You're the chosen one. That is the feeling. So very positive energy surrounding your manifestation right now. We do have the 2 of Swords, which as you can probably tell, is a bit of a challenging energy. And I think this is more so something that is in your mind. I think that you guys are quite clear about what you want. So I don't think the indecision is about like, is it okay for me to pursue this path or not? Or like, should I do it or not? I don't think for most of you it is something like that. I think this indecision is more so not really knowing how to go about it, because we have unclear path, we have withholding. Oh, actually, the first thing that came to my mind with this, with withholding, is that you guys might be holding back because you might be kind of scared of moving forward when you're not entirely 100% sure of what your path is. But then I realized that this withholding is also talking about your spirit guides or your higher self withholding the answers from you because they actually want you to learn how to be confident and courageous enough to step forward when you don't know the path. I just went out for dinner with a friend and my partner last night, and they were getting along so well. It was awesome. And they were talking about their hopes and dreams and like the projects that they're working on and stuff. And my partner has created a successful business and I'm so freaking proud of him. But he was saying that the process of building his business, it was literally like making a paper plane and throwing it and then being like, oh, it flew. Like you have no idea if it's gonna fly before you throw it. But I think a lot of us get stuck in this mentality where we're like, I want to know whether or not this paper plane is gonna fly before I even throw it. But sometimes you have to just dive into the unknown. And so if you ask questions about this journey to your guides and they're either vague or don't answer you at all, I do feel like that is kind of on purpose, especially for those of you who do your own readings, because I'm getting the image of someone who's like trying to read about a situation, but the cards are confusing, or they just like, they don't know what the reading is trying to tell them. And your guides might be kind of, I don't want to say trying to confuse you, but they're like, you gotta just go for it. You gotta just go for it at the end of the day. You owe it to yourself. And I even want to say, you owe it. It sounds so cheesy, but you owe it to a generation. You are going to inspire a generation with your love for what you do, or your love for whom you are with, or your love for where you are, or just your love for the world. I feel like you are going to leave behind an amazing legacy. For those of you who have children or who want children, there's also a message that your descendants are going to do amazing things in this world, and they are going to leave an incredible legacy as well. But yeah, I feel like the energy surrounding your desired outcome itself are extremely positive. The energy surrounding you and your mindset, you're a little bit indecisive about like, how should I do it? And your guides are literally saying, just try anything. Because even if you try a path and it's not the right one, you'll find out. And then you'll be like, oh, this is the wrong path. Let's try something else. But you don't know until you do it. You don't know if that plane's gonna fly until you throw it. And it's through trial and error that you will figure it out. Okay, so let's clarify these messages now with some oracle cards. We have adventures, exactly. I'm hearing throw away the map. Yeah. Ooh, ascended masters with spirit. And the angel of balance. So look at this. First of all, we have 3 A's, A. So A could be a significant, maybe some of you guys are getting straight A's on exams or on a report card or something like that. Or A could be a significant initial. I just thought of Ariel, like Archangel Ariel. That might be someone who is helping you. Or Aphrodite also starts with an A. I'm sure there are many more. Those are just the ones that came to my mind right now. But you definitely have some very powerful beings working with you, because we have ascended masters and an angel here. Those are very very high vibrational beings, very powerful beings. Birds, this might sound kind of strange, but birds as a collective consciousness could be helping you. Or some type of bird could be a significant spirit animal for you. A could also be the initial of a relevant person or place, such as an actual human and an actual place on Earth. But there's definitely a lot of higher up beings, so to speak, in higher dimensions who are very excited about this thing that you're trying to manifest. And I feel like all of these hands being raised are saying, you have my full support. Because I'm telling you guys, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, it is not just going to benefit you. It's going to benefit a large group of people. I even felt called to say a generation before. Maybe it's going to help your whole community, or maybe it's going to help your whole family, or maybe it's going to pave the way for your descendants to do something amazing. But it's really not just benefiting you. Like, this is, and I feel like I sound very dramatic when I say this, but whatever you're manifesting is for the good of the world. Like, everyone benefits from this. It's amazing. 748, I feel like putting these together, that could be a significant number. That'd be very cool if it's your birth time, or if you see this time a lot, if you wake up at this time. Interestingly, my birth time is 7/19, and I find that I often wake up at that time. Enough for me to be like, what's going on? But anyway, shout out to my 7 o'clock born babies. And actually, Madison is also born at 7:30 p.m. and I'm born at roughly 7:30 a.m., which is kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, with adventures, I feel like this is very relevant, and I kind of feel like a prerequisite for an adventure is that you don't exactly know where you're going to end up. Otherwise, it's not really an adventure. There is a big feeling with this manifestation of exploration and discovery and sort of finding the way as you go along. They're kind of comparing, there's 2 ways to explore a country. One way is you go through a travel agency and they recommend you all the very popular tourist spots and you follow an itinerary, and that's one way to experience a country. And then there's another way that is like, you just show up. You just show up and you just go wherever your whim takes you and you explore. And there might be a bit less security and certainty there, but you're probably going to find some very beautiful places that you would have never found if you just follow the map. You're going to find holes in the wall. You're going to find secluded places that are not full of tourists. You're going to speak to locals. You're going to find your own delicacies and your own treasures. And I feel like you as a soul on earth, you chose the latter form of tourism. If you picture your soul as like a tourist on earth, I'm just here to visit and see what it's all about and maybe make this world a better place. I feel like your soul wants to do the latter. Meaning, if I translate that into terms of a human doing life, you're not going to follow the prescribed journey to success. Your journey is going to be very different because you're not going to follow anyone else's rule book. You're going to follow your own whims. You're going to follow your own thirst for adventure. You're going to listen to the guidance from the ascended masters and the angels. You're very much following your own path. I'm hearing like you're speaking your own language. I feel like even the way you channel the divine is very unique as well. You might not use traditional forms of divination. You might not follow the traditional rules. You have your own very personal relationship with the divine. And it's funny because even people who might not want to see you do well, even those people would benefit from your success. And that's why it's kind of ironic. That's an interesting message. If there's anyone around you who's like envious, or if there's anyone around you who you feel like doesn't want you to pursue this path or doesn't want you to be successful, they're saying it's ironic because even those people would be so lifted up and would gain so much from you being successful. So by trying to hold you back or keep you down, they're also holding themselves back. But that's okay, because they're not going to be successful, and we love them. We're sending them love, and they will benefit from your success. So your advice is to just consider this as an adventure. Consider this as, I don't know where I'm going to end up, and that's okay, but I know that I'm going to end up somewhere freaking amazing, because I have the highest quality guidance. You truly do. 7 is the number of the crown chakra. So you may be very guided by downloads, by epiphanies, by sudden intuitive hits. And I think with this angel of balance, you guys are very good at balancing your spiritual insights and your practical judgments, because they really do go hand in hand. It's not one against the other. As long as they work together, the practical judgment side of you can be the structure that your downloads need to be implemented in a 3D physical world. So, wow, you guys are amazing and you're in amazing hands. I'm really happy to see this. So let's get into the deck you guys chose now. Let's see, why hasn't this manifestation happened just yet? For group number 4, we have the Emperor in reverse, and it says, I make empowered choices. So maybe we are not making empowered choices right now. Maybe we are giving our power away. Maybe we just haven't really fully committed to ourselves yet. And that's okay. That's very okay. It takes time to get there, especially when we've, given away our power for a long time, or doubted our intuition and doubted our judgment for quite some time. It takes time to unlearn those things. So there's no shame in that. But I think this group is in the process of remembering that you are the main character in your life. Your opinion of your life is the most important opinion. I think you're in the process of coming back into your power. We have the 5 of Swords with I will heal myself. And the 5 of Swords is also about conflicts, disagreement, and disalignment. So I feel like there's a part of you guys that really wants to just take charge of your own life and live it exactly how you want to. But then there's another part of you that fights that. Maybe there's a part of you that tells you that you're being selfish. There could be a part of you that tells you you're being impulsive as well, because this is Aries energy. And one of the, I guess, negative, you could say, aspects of Aries energy is, being impulsive, being kind of reckless, not properly thinking things through. And so there might be a part of you that says, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to do something impulsive like going after this, or think about the people that you might inconvenience, or I don't know, like trying to almost fight your urge to put yourself first and live your own life. There could also be a part of you that is afraid of or resistant to change. Because the number 5 is all about change, and the Emperor in reverse, it can be kind of a stubborn and resistant energy. And what I'm actually seeing with this is that you guys actually handle change very well. It's more so the idea of change that you struggle with. So I can give kind of an example of this. when I had a job that I didn't like, I would dread going to work like for days before. And it would make me so anxious thinking about going to work. And of course I went, but it was almost like the thinking and worrying about it actually brought me more stress than the work itself. Because I worked myself up so much about it that I would like feel sick in the days before going. I'm like, I don't want to go, I don't want to do it. But then once I was there, like I didn't like it, but it was fine. So it was one of those situations where the idea that I had of it in my head was way worse than the actual thing. And I feel like this group, there might be something like that with change or with the unknown. Because what I'm seeing for you guys is that throughout your life, you've actually gone through a lot of transitions very gracefully. You've actually handled change really, really well. When you're actually doing it, you do amazing. But for some reason, your brain tells you like the idea of change is scary, if that makes sense. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. I am ready for a breakthrough to success. And we have the Fool in reverse. I am guided and protected on my life journey. Yeah, and the Fool is about leaps of faith. The Ace of Swords is about breakthroughs. So yeah, it just looks like this group, why your manifestation isn't here yet, it really comes down to being afraid of taking a leap of faith. That's what it really looks like. You could feel like you're not ready. There could be a part of you that tells you you're not ready. You could deal with a sort of imposter syndrome when it comes to going after what you want. You might feel like you're a fraud or something like that. Who was I talking to that was saying, oh, it was one of my classmates. They were saying like, I feel like a fraud for the thing that they were pursuing. They're like, I feel like a fraud. I feel like I don't belong like to be there. I don't deserve to be there. And we were talking about kind of imposter syndrome. Some of you don't realize, and again, it's ironic because what came through to me so strongly at the start of this reading was just how made you are. You are made for this thing you're trying to manifest, and this thing you're trying to manifest is made for you. It will choose you. It will prefer you. If there's 1,000 people who want what you want and only one of you can have it, it will choose you. It just will, because you are the chosen one, and that's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. So yeah, you guys could feel a bit of like, I'm not the one, or I'm not ready. You might kind of put off taking action towards this because you feel like, oh, I just need a little bit more practice. An example that's coming to my mind is like going to an audition for, let's say, a theater production that you really want to belong to. And you keep telling yourself like, oh, maybe next year because I'm not good enough at this, and this yet. Or maybe next year when I feel more secure. Maybe I'll audition for this music company when I have a bit more of a collection, when I get a bit better at mixing. It's like, but when you think like that, it's honestly never ending. Because once you get better and reach a certain level, your hurdle is just going to get farther away. Because the better you get at something, the more you realize you have room for improvement. It's never ending, and at some point you just have to go for it. And I feel like you will be ready once you do it. It's like backwards. It's not I will do it once I'm ready. It's like I will be ready once I do it. Trust your ability to make it happen under pressure, I guess I want to say. That's another thing. Like, I've only sung on stage a few times, but the nerves that I feel before it are so much worse. It's like you work yourself up so much, but then once you step out there, something just like a switch just goes on and you're like, okay, it's happening, let's do it. And I'm telling you guys, like, if you just take this leap and step out on that metaphorical stage, or maybe that real stage, depending on what you're manifesting, some switch will just go off and you will just become ready. You will become ready out of necessity. which sounds scary because it is, but you can do it. We also have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I trust my idea and my direction. So these are kind of similar. I trust my idea and my direction. I am guided and protected on my life journey. I guess it's a balance between trusting the divine's ability to provide for you and support you, and trusting your own material, trusting your own idea, trusting your own skill. And with balance, you really have both. You have the raw talent, you have the knowledge, you have the skill, and you have luck on your side. You have divine support on your side. And it's with both of these that you will find your success. And like, all of this is just showing doubt. Even here, we saw that the energy around the thing you're trying to manifest itself is so freaking positive. And then it's just like doubt and indecision and nerves and getting cold feet that really gets in the way. I would also say, you know, we had that advice of you'll figure out your path with trial and error. And I want to add to that, when you do try a certain path, make sure that you really give it its time to play out. Like, don't be too quick to say, oh, I tried that and it didn't work. You know, I'm just imagining someone, you know, for example, someone asking for advice from a friend, and their friend is going, oh, well, did you try this? Did you try this? Yeah, I already tried that and it didn't work. I tried that too and it didn't work. And there's a message of make sure before you cross that out and say, nope, that's not going to work. Did you really give it the time to play out? Did you really give it an honest try? For example, someone wants to be a successful singer. They're like, I don't know how to get myself out there. And then their friend says, oh, well, did you try posting covers on YouTube? Yeah, I tried that and it didn't work. Then you go to their YouTube channel and it's like they post 3 covers a year or something like that. Like, there's just a message of make sure you really gave it an honest try. Then finally, we have the Ace of Cups with Aquamarine. I welcome new love and trust what it brings. And it's so funny because like after this card came out, and then I was just like, blah, blah, blah. The camera timer went to 25:52. Some of you guys might know this number has literally been following me for months now. Any variation of like 2s and 5s together, 52, 52, 25, 25. And it tells me about a wave of soul family unions that is happening. And so, or a wave of like divine counterpart unions that are happening. And I feel like group number 4, if you are struggling with believing in yourself and just going for it, help is on the way. I feel like you are going to fall in love with someone, or you recently have, either romantically or platonically. And this love is going to be an inspiration. This person is going to be a huge inspiration to you. I think your guides want you to know that you're not in this alone. You do have soul family who are instructed to come into your life and you to come into theirs. When you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling scared, you will help each other. You don't have to go at this alone. And I feel like help is on the way. Love is on the way. Wow. Love will always save the day. So yeah, it's mostly, when it comes to answering why it's not here yet, it mostly has to do with doubt and perhaps a lack of action, or a lack of really giving an honest try to certain ideas that you have. And it might be that deep down you don't really believe in the idea. Like going back to the example of the person who's like, oh, well, I tried posting covers and it didn't work. Maybe the reason they didn't give it an honest effort is because deep down, subconsciously, they didn't really believe that they could make it work. So I think the more you believe in yourself and the more you believe in your idea, the more chance you will give to that idea. You won't just try it and be like, oh, that didn't work, moving on. Because if you really believe in it, you'll be like, I want to really give this the chance that it needs to like come to life. I want to give it what it deserves to come to life. Give your ideas the love and care they deserve. Don't give up on them so quickly because they are brilliant ideas. I want to tell you that. So finally, we are going to take a look at some oracle cards to get you some last messages and advice. Ooh, we have the magic mirror. Facing yourself will create a bright future for you. If you can face yourself, you will create a bright future. So maybe we need to look within a bit and see what doubts are holding us back. Why do I stop myself from taking action? What am I telling myself when I decide against doing something? What is the narrative when I'm feeling hopeless about my manifestation? What is the narrative going through my mind? We need to address the part of us that has those negative thoughts because I think it's stopping you from taking action. We have the number 19 as well, which is the number of the sun. The sun makes me think of like self-confidence and self-love because it's related to Leo. Same thing with orange calcite. It makes me think of self-confidence and self-love and like activating your sacral chakra. It's one of my favorite stones. It makes me so happy. And actually, having a little orange calcite with you or red or orange stones could be very, very helpful. Aw, we have the number 24 with unconditional love. This love, no, not this love. This world is made of love. So there's a love coming in for you guys. 24 could be a significant number, or 19. This person could be born on the 24th of a month or born on the 19th of a month. The love that is coming in, but this is someone who loves you unconditionally and it will help you to believe in yourself. It could also be the love of a parent or a parental figure who helps you move forward, because I'm just looking at the mom cat with her baby cats. But yeah, this whole world is made of love. This whole world is ready to receive you in all of your brilliance if you will just boldly step into it. Oh, this one says like to treasure your pure heart. One of the reasons you will be so successful in this is because your intentions are pure. I feel like you guys, I just saw 3223, which is a mirroring number. All you really want is to love and be loved. That's what I feel from your soul. All you really want is to love and be loved, and all you really want is to help others and to leave this world a better place than when you came. Like that's what you want to leave behind. I don't feel like this group is driven by like self-serving motives or superficial motives. Everything you do is with the purest of intentions, is with love for everyone. And I also want to tell you guys to not be discouraged by people who don't see that, or people who misunderstand your intentions. I think that sometimes, and honestly, I feel like sometimes people purposely misunderstand our intentions because it's almost, and it's so sad when I say it, but it's like they don't want to believe that such a pure light could exist because perhaps they feel threatened by it in some way, or they feel triggered by it in some way. But I feel like for this group, maybe there's instances where you were acting with the best intentions. You were acting from a place of love and wanting to help others and like help others awaken, help others enlighten. But someone took you the wrong way either unintentionally or intentionally, and tried to like twist. They tried to take your pure intention and make it into something that it was not. And I want to tell you guys to not let that hold you back from speaking your truth. Because the ones who get it will get it. And there's a lot of people who need to hear what you have to say. Wow. And then finally, we have abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Such a beautiful card to end off with. My group number 4s. I saw 3443 just now, which is also a mirroring number. What did I see before? 32, 23, 34, 43. I also saw 2552. There's been a lot of mirroring numbers, so that might also be something that you guys see as a sign to let you know that you're on the right path, and also to let you know that you're very loved. So it could be any mirroring number, like 1221 or 7557 or something like that, but I feel like mirroring numbers are your numbers. So group number 4s, those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can check out my pick a cards on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can check out my pick a cards on Patreon. You get to choose the topic for those. You can check out my music on my music channel, which includes the song that you guys heard at the start of this video. That's an original song. And you can check out my merch at kinotarot.com, which features the temple that was at the start of this video. And we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It really means so much to me. My lovely group number 4s, I'm sending you so much love, sending lots of love to anyone who may be involved in this situation as well. Sending lots of love to your spirit guides, your angels, your ascended masters, your soul family, your community, and all of your spiritual team, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.